This is just simply the wave surface. So right now we just have the still water load case here. We do have this lightship load case, which we can get rid of. And actually, while we're talking about load cases, you'll see this grayed out button that says more, and that applies to all of the operations for the load cases. When you open the dialog, it's grayed out. Once you switch the load case, it becomes active. Now, delete and modify are going to delete or modify this particular load case. And if I wanted to add additional options for what I'm running, you'd need to modify the load case and it would apply these things. Like we were going to also run corrosion. You can see it adds the tab, but in order to actually make that change to the lightship, you've got to hit modify. And with more, it allows you to do multiple operations on your load conditions. And right now we only have two, so we really don't need this dialog to delete the load cases. But if you're running something like Maestro Wave and you have the extreme load module and you might be generating dozens of different load conditions for specific dominant load parameters. If you were extracting from the frequency domain runs, you're looking for the conditions with the most severe bending moments and shear forces and torsional moments and so forth. And you might be doing the top 2 or 3 from each one. You can get quite a few load cases very quickly, where the peak occurs and then 180 degrees out of phase. So that doubles your load conditions. You can easily come up with 20, 30 load conditions that you're dealing with. Well, if you decide you want to get rid of all those and create new ones, rather than clicking on each one and deleting individually, you can come in here and select a bunch of them at once and delete them all at once. This also allows you to export the load conditions so you can move them from one model to another. If we had a similar version of this model with different plating or a slightly different arrangement or a different deck house or some variation of this model, but it was essentially very similar, we could export the load conditions and import them into the other one. I usually mainly just use that dialog for deleting, doing a bulk delete of load cases. We'll get rid of this lightship condition, add a new one based on the still water. So we want to copy all of those tank loads and such, and we will call this, and we'll come in and we want to create a sine wave, or we could make a trochoidal wave, but we'll just do a sine wave for now. For the wavelength, well, our ship is 160 meters long, so let's make it slightly longer, and we'll make it 180. And we'll give it start with a 1 meter amplitude, and we'll set the phase angle to, actually, let's make it 160. We'll do the exact wavelength because it makes the phase angle nice and easy. One meter is not nearly large enough, so let's make it 5. So there's our sagging wave, and we can do a hydrostatic balance on this, see what the new floating condition would be. And then similarly, we can create another load case. And we'll just make it 180 degrees out of phase. Hit the modify button, I guess. And we balance on that. There's a good chance this is going to go up above the deck. Oh no, it didn't. Never mind. We can see our longitudinal bending moment on the hogging wave. On the sagging wave. But fairly easy to create these simple waves, and then if we wanted to modify the direction, oh, I did that on the hogging wave, so change the display.